I'll tell you, this part of the world where I live, we're a stoic, cold, cranky bunch of. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is John. This is my channel. Your resident. Oh my God, I still can't say my name. This is my new channel, and I'm stumbling on my name. Heaven forbid I can't even say my name of my channel. We'll try this again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is John. This is my channel. Your Renaissance Man. See there, I got it. Anyways, if you can't laugh at yourself, yeah, you're taking life too serious. So anyways, today we're going to talk about just some ideas and thoughts I had driving up to the studio this morning. But before I get to all that, I want to thank our subscribers. At this time, I got 2 subscribers, which is me and a person in my personal life. Good morning to you. We'll talk later, I'm sure. I hope you watch the video, and I hope you enjoy. But to those of you who haven't subscribed, which is everybody else, please subscribe. That's what helps us out as a new channel, is subscribers. And if you already are subscribed, if you could please continue to support us by either like, commenting, or sharing. So, like I said, this channel, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet with the direction of it. So something just crossed my mind this morning while I was driving up here. And I've been recording a video for my other channel. And so this is kind of what's good about this channel is everything not related to that channel, I'm going to put here if I think it may be of interest to somebody else. So, and then as this channel grows and gets more defined and what you, the viewer, enjoys the most, engages with the most, that kind of stuff, I will start fine-tuning the direction of it. This channel is intended for me to have a place to do stuff that isn't so specific, because I have a lot of things in my head, a lot of experiences, and I'd like to share the ones I think that could be of benefit to you. So I had breakfast this morning at a small cafe in a small town that's near my studio. My studio's in a rural area. It's on a farm. It's a very small farm. It's not a big production farm. I do have some acreage, and we lease it out to a local farmer who basically farms all the surrounding land. And so I really like the setting, the scening of it, the scenery and so forth, the wildlife, all that fun stuff. My residence is in the city. So it's nice to get out of the city, to have this place to be, to be creative and be away from the city and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that was entering my mind today was, in the United States right now, we're in the middle of a presidential election, and we're less than 100 days out. And it's been very heated. We've even had an assassination attempt on one of the candidates. And my point today isn't to get into the politics. I'm not trying to, this is never going to be a political channel. And I don't want, this is just to share observations about stuff, in life that are, in and around that, not necessarily that specifically. What's troubling to me is what happens in America right now is there are, it's very divided right now. We have 2 presidential candidates, and I can't say the whole population is split in half, because usually our elections, you talk about the voting population, not just the overall population, meaning because not everybody votes. We're a country of 330, oh God, what is it? I don't remember what our population of the U.S. is. I think it's like 330 million or something like that. But whatever. And the past elections have been very close with between 2 political parties. And some of the political parties, or one of the political parties, I'm not going to say it that way, because it's on both sides of the fence. It's not fair to say it that way, to say one party versus the other, because as soon as I say it in the comments, somebody's going to say, no, it's not that party, it's that party. So it's not, I don't want to detract from the thought here so much as some of the things that are currently happening in and around the way people are treating each other. By that, I mean, there is a lot of, taking sides. And the way our country was, earlier in my lifetime, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I'm in my early 50s. And at that time, there was things you didn't talk about, because they were controversial. It was mainly 3 things. It was sex, politics, and your religion. And if you knew the person well enough that you knew you were on the same wavelength with them, you would maybe talk about those topics because they were like a trusted friend closer to them, whatever. And so now politics is very much in your face. And there's a lot of, if you don't believe in us, you're wrong. And wrong to the extent that we've, had an assassination attempt on one of the presidential candidates. And it's caused a ripple in the advertising, in the media coverage, because there's been a lot of speak of kind of like, if you're not with us, you're wrong. And so this candidate is evil, for example. And that in turn, if you say it often enough, there's people that can buy into that, which can incite violence, possibly. I can't say that's what caused this assassination attempt. I don't know. I'm not in that person's head. But the media has a great influence over the people that engage with it. And so I'm not very fond of mainstream media because it seems to be heavily biased. That's part of what got me to YouTube, was finding independent creators and listening to their take on it, and then testing them out and watching them more and more, and then deciding, yeah, I like this person. I trust their views. They're more in line with my thoughts and beliefs. They're not getting paid by somebody to say certain things. And so now I haven't really watched, say, like television news in maybe like at least 10 years, maybe longer. I see clips on some of the people that I watch on YouTube because they're like, using that as an example for a story. But I can't absorb mainstream media news anymore. Even cable, CNN and Fox and MSNBC, and I can't. It feels like I'm being told what to think, and I don't like that. I'm an adult man. I've learned from my experiences, and I know what I hear and and believe. And there's things I don't want to be told. I mean, I'm not open to believing something else if presented with fact, but I don't like being force-fed things that feels like it's trying to push me in a direction. I like stuff that feels more unbiased and more open to me. The news, as me growing up, I remember the news being as something that was presented to you, which appeared to not have a heavy bias in any direction. And then you kind of filled in the blank as to what you thought, if there's anything more to it than just that, where they just stated, an airplane crashed today, Chicago, whatever, crash landed. So many survivors, so many people perished, whatever. And now, the media is, they're, like YouTube. Our existence is based on clicks. And so, the media gets to the point that sensationalism gets clicks. And now all the media, a lot of the mainstream media news is just click based. So, I mean, they throw it out there, the most obnoxious, thing that make your head spin to the thought, man, I got to find out the answer to that, because, this plane that crashed in the 80s was, talked to you in the 80s as being a plane crash. So many people survived, so many people perished, happened such and such a date, such and such a time, such and such a location. And that was kind of, and then they would say that, the TSB or whatever it is, is looking into it, is investigating the crash, and the FAA and all that stuff. But it was never, they didn't jump to, speculation so quickly as they do now. And then they would represent it to you later on as they acquired more information. And then it would almost kind of disappear. Where now is, man, they just throw it in your face constantly, day after day after day after day after day. And even if it's something you agree with, on your side of the fence, it's still like it's just too much. And so what I don't like about all that is, the way the biases are with the news outlets, that if you're not agreeing with the way they're presenting it to you, you are you are presented as being damaged, wrong, broken, stupid, whatever. It's just, we used to embrace people for their differences, and now certain parts of the world or certain parts of society poke fun at you, cancel culture, all that stuff, where they can just about ruin your life, or take your life in that matter also, just for being, believing something different, and that's really going against what one of our, the foundation of our country is free speech. And so to not being able to say a differing opinion and then being posed as misinformation or whatever it's like, not everybody's saying it to say that you're wrong or right. Because a lot of the times we're talking about things are subjective, based on our opinion, how we see it, feel about it, how it impacts our lives. And because of that, it may not impact somebody else's life the same way. So they may feel that that's a positive. You may feel it's a negative, vice versa, whatever. But where we're losing ground is not understanding our fellow human beings and hearing their side of it, hearing both sides, and then finding a way to come together in the middle to resolve it that works out for both. I mean, it may not be perfect for both, but it may be acceptable to both. Our election process now has become so polarized. It's either you vote for this party to prevent them from doing this, or the other party, you vote for them to prevent the other party from doing something else. And it's really trapped us into a two-party system, but it's also starting to pin us neighbor against neighbor if we're not on the same political beliefs. And that's a horrible thing to do to society and communities, is divide us. The government was set up to be supportive of us, to provide infrastructure for us to make our lives easier, not us to go to government for, to ask for permission, to, ask for them to do this, to do that, to save us from this, save us from that. Usually we're the ones who decide what it used to be. We decide what we want out of government, and then we told government to carry it out. It is now shifted into government is, telling us what we should want or what they're going to do, and that we need it, not something, and it's usually, a lot of times it's not even stuff we asked for. So it's really it's a breakdown of our society. I see it correcting itself now. I mean, it's not corrected, but I see it always kind of trying to refine a new direction. But I encourage you as a person, when you know people in your life of differing opinion, different beliefs, don't call them wrong. They're not wrong. They have a different opinion. They have a different choice than you. They have and it's for various reasons that make sense to them. So they're not wrong. They've come to that, they've come to that after their life experience. You've come to your point in life from your life experience. So get to know them. Ask them questions about what they believe. Don't tell them why you're right. Ask questions to them. I've found out that people I've had various differing opinions with, and on the subjects we differ on, I mean, we're an arm's length away from a compromise. It's usually not as far apart as like how the media spins it onto us, and it's horrible for the media to do it that way because it divides us as a nation. And, I love our country. What we need to do is need to get back to respecting each other, even if their beliefs are different than ours. Because that's what brings us together as a society and as a community. And that's what makes us stronger. And it helps us look out for each other. It makes us more likely to stop and help somebody in need. Offer a person a hand, help a person change a flat tire, help a person walking with a gas can get to a gas station, for example. This is what makes a country great. Having us split up and not wanting to do something because in fear of somebody else interpreting it wrong, doing it wrong. I mean, the biggest thing with determining something wrong is intent. So if your intention is to deceive or steal or, swindle, whatever, then yes, that is wrong. But if you're innocently trying to help somebody and it's determined as being wrong, it's your intent wasn't wrong. I mean, granted, you still have some accountability, especially if it's something horrific that happens, but your general day-to-day life, if you smile at a, if you're a man, you smile at a woman, you should be able to do that and not feel guilt or shame or wonder how that's going to be interpreted, and there's society is making us feel like we should all be isolated from each other and be careful how we treat each other and don't talk to each other a certain way, don't do things a certain way, and they've highlighted so much negative things in life as far as actions, a lot of these negative, bad things that have happened in the world have been very isolated incidences, but for needing clicks and needing advertising dollars for the mass media, the mainstream media that's putting this out there, they push it as hard as they can for as long as they can for advertising dollars. And it's very money driven. So, but then what are they doing? They're pushing negative, pushing negative stuff on you constantly. And some people call it fear mongering, which is kind of what I feel it is. And so detaching yourself from, the mainstream media, it's been such a blessing. It's freed up my mind so much. It gets you from the day to day wanting to tune in to find out what's happening next. And, like this assassination attempt that just happened recently. It's like, I feel bad it happened. It shouldn't happen to anybody, regardless of the situation and who it is. But I don't want to get sucked into tuning in off and on all day long, looking for more information on it, because ultimately it's outside of my world, outside of my control. It's nice to know about it, but it's nice to not be consumed about it either. So, it frees up your mental energy. It also impacts your mood greatly, so it's to get away from that stuff can improve your feeling of yourself and your well-being, your overall mental health, so take care of yourselves. You can say it's staying informed, but man, it's a lot of negative energy in there and it pulls you down. And then we start being mean to each other and we start thinking of everybody's the enemy and we can't trust our neighbors. And there's a lot of fucking good people in the world, but you're never going to know until you talk to them. Granted, there's assholes and there's mean people and there's people that are out there to intentionally cause harm. But I promise you, they're the minority. But they get highlighted and they get the most attention, which is bad. That's, like I said, some things we need to know about on some level, some way, shape, or form, just to stay informed, to be aware. But ultimately, to be hammered with it daily, repeatedly, Sometimes I want to hear about a guy that stopped and helped a mom, change a flat tire on her van or whatever. That's reminding you people are good. People do good things. We're out there. There's people doing good things every day. Be one of them. Smile. I'll tell you, this part of the world where I live, we're a stoic, cold, cranky bunch of motherfuckers. But it's hard to crack a smile. It's hard to get people to smile. And you know what? You can change the world with a smile and you can make another person smile. If you can do that, do it. Holy fuck, am I rambling on? So, I don't know where I'm going to cut this video. It's just going in all sorts of directions. Ramblings of an old crazy man. So, anyways, be good to each other. See somebody, help them out. Don't be afraid to help somebody that's in need. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. So, with all that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're willing to do so, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you do subscribe already, please continue to support us by either like, commenting, sharing. Have a great day. Smile at the world. Get the world to smile back. Do what you can. Love you. God bless.